Hello everyone, welcome to Tennis Fan Video. It felt less like a tennis match and more like a pop concert. The screams weren't polite applause. They weren't respectful claps between rallies. They were full volume, phone in the air, lose your voice type screams. And no, this wasn't a Grand Slam final featuring a multiple-time champion. This was a 20-year-old still chasing her first WTA title. That 20-year-old is Alexandra Eala. And if you think this is just another young talent rising story, think again. Because what's happening around Eala right now could change the entire landscape of women's tennis, but it could also become the very thing that is her the most. We're talking about a popularity surge that insiders are already comparing to Coco Gauff. We're talking about crowds so loud in Dubai that one respected broadcaster said it felt like a Taylor Swift concert. And we're talking about a warning that I've ignored could quietly derail the momentum of one of the most exciting players of this generation. So here's the real question. Is Alexandra Eala ready for what's coming next? Because make no mistake, this isn't normal. At the Australian Open this year, fans were queuing outside just to get into her matches. Not finals, not championship rounds, early matches. That's when you know something special is happening. When fans aren't just supporting a player, they're chasing a moment. And what makes this even more incredible is that Eala is currently ranked world number 31. She hasn't lifted a WTA trophy yet. She's not a Grand Slam champion, but her name alone is shifting tickets. In Abu Dhabi, in Manila, in Dubai, the energy follows her. Now, let's slow down for a second. Popularity in tennis is usually built over years. It's built through Grand Slam titles, iconic rivalries, dramatic comebacks. Think about how long it took legends to build that aura. But with Eala, it feels accelerated, almost like the sport blinked, and suddenly she was everywhere. And when respected voices start making comparisons, you pay attention. Speaking to Tennis 365, Gigi Salmon of Sky Sports Tennis didn't hesitate. She basically said that in terms of appeal and the crowds following her, Eala might already be the biggest star in certain arenas. That's not a small statement. That's massive. In fact, Salmon shared something fascinating. She mentioned how Coco Gauff recently apologized after holding up a match with Aya and promised fans she'd deb out soon. That subtle moment says everything. Players are aware. They know when the crowd is there for someone else. It used to happen with Roger Federer. Opponents would joke, "I know you didn't come to support me." That kind of aura is rare. It's generational. And somehow Alexandra Eala is starting to taste that energy. But here's where the story gets complicated. Because with fame comes expectation. And expectation in tennis, it can be brutal. In Miami last year, during her semifinal run at Miami Open, the crowds were already electric. That run put her on the global map. It wasn't just about results. It was about the connection. Fans saw something in her fearless shot, making emotional honesty gratitude after matches. Fast forward to this year in the Middle East. According to Salmon, Dubai felt like a pop concert. People screaming, phones recording, the kind of atmosphere that can either fuel you or suffocate you. And that's the warning. Salmon suggested that at some point that level of noise, that level of attention could become a burden. Not because Eala isn't talented, not because she can't handle pressure, but because tennis is a lonely sport. When you step onto that court, it's just you. No teammates, no substitutions, just your thoughts. Now, imagine carrying an entire nation's expectations with you. Eala isn't just a promising player. She's a symbol for Filipino tennis. She's a pioneer in many ways. And when you represent something bigger than yourself, every double fault feels heavier. Every misbreak point feels louder. But here's what I personally love about her situation right now. She doesn't look overwhelmed. She looks energized. Every time she thanks the crowd, every time she smiles during interviews, there's a sense that she understands the moment but isn't crushed by it. That's rare for someone her age. And let's not forget her foundation. She's been training at the Rafael Nadal Academy for years. That environment breeds discipline. When you train in a system built by Rafael Nadal, you're constantly reminded that fame means nothing without work ethic. So technically she's equipped. But here's the curiosity gap. Nobody is talking about what happens when the results didn't match the hype. Right now she's building momentum. She's seated at Indian Wells Masters World number 31 first round bye. That's progress. That's status. But tennis fans can be unforgiving. The same crowd that screams for you today can question you tomorrow that if she exits early in a big tournament, will the narrative shift? Will the headlines turn from superstar to overhyped? I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying it's possible. And this is where her mental strength becomes the real storyline because it'll entwise. She's legit. She hits a heavy ball. She takes it early. She plays with controlled aggression. That there's variety there. There's confidence there. But superstardom in tennis isn't just about forehands and backhands. It's about absorbing chaos and still performing. Let's also address something important. Some critics might whisper that the comparison to Coco Gauff is premature, and maybe it is in terms of titles. Gauff already has major achievements on her resume. EA doesn't, that's factual. But popularity, that's a different metric. We've seen athletes become cultural icons before they become champions. And sometimes that belief from fans actually pushes them to greatness. The danger is when belief turns into pressure. And here's my honest take. I think this phase right now before she wins a major title might be the most crucial period of her career because she's learning how to carry noise without being consumed by it. If she handles this correctly, she could build one of the strongest mental foundations in the game. Now, let's talk about Indian Wells. This is not just another tournament. This is a statement stage. A first round by means expectations are officially higher. She's no longer the surprise package that she's seeded. That changes how opponents approach her. That changes media narratives. And if she makes a deep run there, the hype will double, maybe triple. But if she loses early, that's when we truly see how she processes adversity under the spotlight. Because the spotlight isn't dimming anytime soon. The scary part for the rest of the tour, she's only 20. 20. Her body is still developing. Her tactical understanding is still evolving. If Tease is the version of Eala drawing Taylor Swift level noise, what does peak Eala look like? And let's be honest, tennis needs new global faces. The sport is transitioning. Legends are aging. The WTA is hungry for consistent stars who move tickets and create storylines. Eala checks those boxes. But I want to flip this to you. Is this meteoric rise too fast? Or is this exactly how modern stardom works in 2026? Social media amplifies everything. A single viral run can turn a player into a phenomenon overnight. The difference is sustaining it, and sustainability in tennis is ruthless. What encourages mice her humility? According to reports, she thanks fans individually, acknowledges their energy, doesn't act entitled. That matters because arrogance under hype can destroy locker room respect quickly. Right now, players seem amused by the craze. They smile. They joke about fans not being there for them. But if a star's consistently beating top names while owning the spotlight, that dynamic shifts, and that's when rivalries are born. Imagine a future Grand Slam semifinal between Eala and Coco Gauff with both fan bases roaring. That's box office. But again, we're projecting. The immediate focus is pressure management. Gigi Salmon's warning wasn't dramatic. It wasn't critical. It was observational. Popularity can become heavy. The louder the crowd, the higher the expectation. And here's something many casual fans overlook. Loud crowds can actually disrupt rhythm. Tennis players rely on micro-focus between points. Screams, camera flashes, constant movement. It's stimulating. Adrenaline is great in short bursts. Over 2 hours, it can drain you. So, the very energy fueling her could one day test her endurance. But if she learns to channel it, that becomes her superpower. Look at history. The greatest champions often use crowd energy as armor. They didn't fight it, they rode it. If Eala masters that, the warning becomes irrelevant. I genuinely believe the next 6 months will define her trajectory more than any junior title or academy training ever did, because now it's psychological chess. And here's my bold prediction. If she reaches at least one major final in the next 2 years, this current popularity wave will look small compared to what's coming. But if she struggles with expectations, the narrative will test her resilience. Either way, she's must-watch tennis. And that's the beauty of it. So, Let me ask you something real. Is Alexandra Eala's explosive popularity a blessing that will elevate her to global superstardom? Or could it quietly become the pressure that slows her rise? Drop your thoughts below. I genuinely want to know where you stand because whether you see a future Grand Slam champion or a rising star facing a storm, one thing is undeniable. Alexandra Eala has already changed the energy inside tennis stadiums around the world, and the next chapter begins at Indian Wells. This is Red Dust Report, where tennis stories aren't just told, they're felt.